Hey everyone, Gordon here with another Tech Time with Gordon. Today we're going to be talking about smartphones. So you might be at that point where you're looking at getting a new phone, but you're kind of a bit overwhelmed. There are just so many brands, so many models. You're not sure exactly what to look for. So in this video, I'm going to give you some ideas of what to look for when it comes down to getting a new phone. We're going to cover, 4G or 5G, what to get, and then kind of tips in regards to how to find the right deals for you. So let's begin. So if you are a brand new in regards to getting a smartphone, you might be asking yourself, well, what is a smartphone? Why is it different compared to, your regular phone or maybe even a flip phone? Well, this portable device is a combination between a mobile phone and kind of a computer. So it has computer functions and it's all in one nice handy little unit. The benefits to this is it has lots of memory, so it can do more because of this memory. It also has access to email functions. You can explore the web with it. It also has the ability to run applications known as apps, or some people might know this as programs. So you can do a lot more with a smartphone that which you can't do with your regular landline or a flip phone. So it does offer you a variety of different things you can do with this device that you couldn't without it. So in this part of the video, we're going to talk about specific features that you can review when it comes down to your phone. So you can compare, one phone to another phone and determine if this is going to be a better improvement for you. Of course, any suggestions that I make in this video is my own personal choice. You know, really when it comes down to getting a phone, you might have specific criteria that you're more interested in. Like for me, example, I would say screen size is ultimately what I'm looking for, as well as speed, where you might be looking for being able to use it as a camera. So let's go over these features. So the first thing is screen size. As we progress, the screens are getting bigger. For 2021, the average screen size is 5.4 inches, where, if we were looking back in, say 2007, it's 3.5. And now I'm saying these 5.4 is the average. They are getting bigger as we go along. The biggest model right now is 6.8 inches. Having a bigger screen means it will probably be a little bit heavier, a little bit heftier, so just be aware of that. When it comes down to screen resolution, they are offering now phones that offer 4K, high def, all that kind of stuff. Now, depending on what you are using the phone for, this might not be something that you ultimately need. Are you playing video games on your phone? Are you watching video content? If you are, high def or 4K might be great for you. However, if you're doing just using it for standard emails, phoning, 720 pixels probably would work fine with you. So, that's screen resolution. Cameras, they are getting more advanced, more high defs, more field of view. Um, it is difficult when it comes down to cameras for comparing. Generally, what I will do is see results from the camera. So usually you can find, or from the phone, you can find them online. So, compare what pictures you are taking right now and what the phone could probably do for you. Software features usually is based on the operating software. So there are several different operating software out there. Mostly for users, it's Android and Apple iOS for it. Both have a variety of different things that they can offer. With Apple, they have the iCloud and all that. So depending on what you want to do with your phone, you might be swayed in different directions. One thing I recommend too, or one recommendation is depending on what you are familiar with or have access to. So if you are a family that has all kinds of different Apple products, you have an iPad, you got an iMac, it makes sense to continue with Apple because you can use the software features to sync everything together. But if you are an Android family and have an Android tablet and all that, you might be comfortable sticking with an Android instead of going over to an Apple. So they will offer different features just in regards to your comfort level. Figure out what you want. When it comes down to battery, generally looking for higher numbers when it comes down to the ampere hours. So mAh is what it generally will fall under. My new phone is 5,000. Generally, when it comes down to bigger batteries, it is going to weigh a lot more, but you will also get more hours out of your battery life than you would get for, say, a smaller phone, which might have maybe 2,000. So, comparing the bigger the number, the more hours you will get using your phone without charging it. With memory, phones usually average around 4 gigabytes of memory stored. Depending again what you are doing with your phone, if you are a gamer and are using it for, intense games, you might be looking at something maybe that has a little more memory so that it won't lag or freeze in regards to it. If you are using your phone just as a phone and maybe doing a little bit of email and webs, you don't need a whole lot of memory, so I'd say 4 gigabytes is probably your standard. When it comes down to storage, generally the average is 64 gigabytes. However, storage is not a priority as it once was. We do have access to a lot of cloud-based storage nowadays, such as iCloud for Apple or Google Drive for Android. This allows us to take a lot of our content that's on our phone and save it on somewhere on the internet for access later. Um, you know, I would say most people don't need 128 gigabytes worth of storage when it comes down to the phone, especially if you're only using it again for the basics such as the phone and just doing a little bit of internet surfing. And even if you do a lot of pictures and you've maxed out your cloud-based storage, you can get storage chips, microchips that you can put into your phone, and that'll just give you more storage if necessary. So again, these are just a few features I would say look at. You could compare your old phone to your new one using those features and see, how much of an advancement it truly is. And then again, not everyone is going to have the same priority. For me, again, I said it's screen size and memory. You might be, the software features and storage and camera because you like taking those pictures. It really comes down to the user. So you've probably heard in passing people using these terms. My phone can do 4G, my phone can do 5G, but you might be going, well, what does that mean? Well, to start off, 5G is the latest. The higher the number, the better. Um, it's all about mobile data, so the rate of speed in regards to how it travels to your device. So it's being pulled from the tower and then it's coming into your device. When it comes down to the speed, 4G is 100 megabytes per second, where 5G it's 10,000 megabytes per second. So if you are streaming video content to your phone, you have huge pictures, you're downloading maybe large games or something like that, 5G is amazing. It'll help you, it'll make everything super fast. Now, 4G is all right when it comes down to if you're doing basic things. And for most of us, we might not be in areas that support 5G. Again, 5G is based on your towers and how they can broadcast the signal. So, if you're in an area that doesn't support 5G, well, having a 5G phone won't help you. However, I will point out that most companies or organizations are upgrading their tower services or services So 5G is going to be a possibility. But if you are living out in the country and you don't already have kind of spotty service, it's not going to be a big difference. You probably won't notice a whole lot. But when it comes down to it, my suggestion, if you can get a 5G phone, I would say do it now, because as we go, we'll see advancements in regards to technology. So we'll see more support when it comes down to 5G. Now, I did promise you that we would talk about, tips when it comes down to finding, the best prices, or, making your decisions. So my tips in regards to this is know what you care about. I've kind of already briefly talked about this in regards to the features, but figure out what you want in a phone. Are you going to be playing games on it? Are you going to be using it for mainly a camera? Or are you just basically using it as a phone? Ultimately, what you are going to care about will sway your decision in regards to one phone or another. Don't discount the mid-range, so the average. Um, so, again, if you are not doing a whole lot with your phone, an average phone, so, having the screen size of 5.4, having 5 gigabytes of memory, you know, not going for the higher specs might help in regards to saving money, and you might not notice a huge difference in between how the phones are actually handling. Um, you know, if you don't need a phone right away, definitely shop the sales. So, you can be looking at, just recently we had the back to school sale in regards to phones. We probably will be looking at um, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So, shop around when it comes down to it. You can find sales. I myself use a venue that is a third party um, that looks at all the different prices that are out there, and then they give you the best results. However, you do have to have an idea of what you're looking for. Um, Another thing is, nothing's wrong with the last year's phone model, and you can usually find them at better discounts or better rates because they're looking at getting rid of all those phones for the, brand new phone. And ultimately, you know, the different generations, there might not be a whole lot of difference. One might have a better camera, but everything else is almost identical. So, shopping last year's models are great. Um, if you can, I would say holding on to the phone kind of gives you a better idea if it's great or if it's right for you. And remember, with a bigger the battery or screen size, it might be a bit heavy or lofty. So holding it kind of gives you a better impression on if this phone is going to be right for you. When it comes down to buying phones from a third-party venue such as Amazon or even going on Kijiji and purchasing a phone from someone else, make sure that your carrier can support your phone. Um, Not every carriers have different phones that they have access or can use. So, be careful when it comes down to picking from a third party shop. I already covered this as well, but depending on what you have purchased in the past or what you have a lot of devices of, will ultimately probably sway you in regards to what kind of model of phone that you're going to get. So if you have a lot of Apple-based products such as the iPads and iMac in your home already, it makes sense to get a phone from Apple because you're already familiar with it and you can do more with pairing all their features together. Same thing goes for Android. If you have all these Android devices, or maybe you're comfortable or you've used Android a lot, your comfort might kind of sway what you might choose for a phone. I always recommend this. Buy a glass or a screen protector and case for your phone. It's so easy to drop these phones or get scratches on them. So if you have that extra protection, it will help you in the long run. I know I'm pretty good when it comes down to making sure that my phones stay intact, but I've had in the past dropped phones and had cracked screens and all that, and it can be costly. So having this extra protection will help you in the long run. That concludes my video on smartphones. Hope that gives you a better idea of, how to compare or, what features to look for and how to kind of compare the different phone models that are out there. Definitely do your research when it comes down to purchasing. Um, that's what I tend to do, and by being knowledgeable when it comes down to what you're looking for, it makes it easier to make that final decision when it comes down to purchasing. If you don't have to purchase a phone right away, I would say definitely shop the sales. There's always deals and new generations coming out for phones, which makes the previous generation a lot cheaper and affordable for some of us to buy. So definitely, these are my words of advice to you. And happy phone shopping. Have a nice day. Bye now.